I welcome each and everyone once again for the Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have
Mataji, we can't hear you again.
very fortunate to enlighten us on the topic Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya lila 19.88. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Can you hear me, Prabhuji?
Yes, I can hear you. So we chant with the Mangalacharana of the Caitanya Caritamrta Antya, chapter 1, first 14 verses. Vande Gurunnisha Bhaktani Shammishavatarakant Tatprakashanti Tatshaktihi Krishna Chaitanya Sanjakam Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodito Gaudode Pushpavanto Chitro Sundo Damodo Yadadvaitam Brahmopanishadi Tadapyasya Tanubha Yatmasya Yatmantaryaya Purushah Iti Sosyam Shavaibhavaha Shareshwarya Purno Yahya Bhagavan Swayamyam Chaitanya Krishna Jagati Bharattam Paramya Anarpita Charim Chirat Karunya Avatirana Samarpaitam Unnatojjala Rasam Sabhakti Shriyam Haripurata Sundaradati Kadamba Sandipitaha Sadharudaya Kandare Sruhatavah Sachinandana Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritrladini Shaktirasmad Ekatmanamapि Bhuvi Puradeha Vedam Tatauto Chaitanyakyam Prakadamaduna Tadvayam Chaikyamaptam Radha Bhavadati Swalitam Nomi Krishna Swarupam Shri Radhaya Pranayamema Kidrisho Vaneva Swadhyo Yenadbhudamadrima Kidrisho Vamadiyaha Saukyam Chasya Madanabhotah Kidrisham Metilobhat Tadbhavadya Samajana Suchigarbha Sindhu Harindu संकर्षण कारणो तो ईशाई गर्भोदशाई च पयोर्दिशाई शेषश्चैश्चां सकला सनित्या अन्दाख्यरामं शरणं नमस्तु मायातीते व्यापि वैकुण्ठलोके श्रीपूर्णेश्वर रूपं पूर्णेश्वरे श्रीचतुर्व्यूह मध्ये रूपं यस्योद्भाति संकर्षणाख्यं तं श्रीनित्यानन्दरामं प्रपद्ये मायावर्ताजाण्डसङ्गाश्रयाङ्गः चेति साक्षात् कारणां बोधि मध्ये यस्यैकांशश्रीपुमानादिदेव तं श्रीनित्यानन्दरामं प्रपद्ये यस्यां शांशः शीलगर्भोदशायी यन्नाब्जं लोकसङ्गातकालं लोकसृष्टस्त्रिगादामदातु तं श्रीनित्यानन्दरामं प्रपद्ये यस्यां शांशः परमात्मा किलानां ओष्टाविष्णुर्भाति दुग्धाब्धिशायी कौष्णिवर्तस्यत्कालस्योऽप्यनन्तस् तं श्रीनित्यानन्दरामं प्रपद्ये महाविष्णुर्जगत्कर्ता माययायः सृजत्यदः तस्यावतार एवायं द्वैताचार्य ईश्वरः अद्वैतं हरिणद्वैतात् आचार्यं बुद्धिसंशनात् भक्तावतारमीशं तं द्वैताचार्यमाश्रये पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्. So you are in the Antarila, the 19th chapter, almost the last chapter. 20th is the last chapter, and 88th verse. So actually we'll start from 88th verse. So you get the background of it. Prafullita vrikshavalli yana vrindavana sukasari pika bringa kare alapana. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is actually in Jagannath Puri, and he remembers Vrindavan when he went to Jagannath Vallabh garden. Pushpagandhala navahe malya pavana guru hona tara lataya shikhaya nachana. So the mild breeze was blowing, and all the flowers, it has got its aroma. And the breeze actually became the spiritual master and was teaching the trees and the creepers how to dance. So this is how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is seeing Jagannath Vallabh Gardens. And then he saw the moon. Purnachandra Chandrikaya Paramaujwal. It was a new moon day, it's a full moon day, and it was illuminated. The whole forest was illuminated with this moon. And the trees and creepers were glittering in the light of the moon. So it was such a beautiful scene that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he saw. There are 6 seasons. We all know the 6 seasons. Chaya Rutugana Yahara Vasanta Pradhan. Among all the 6 Rutus, 6 seasons, Vasanta Pradhan. Vasanta Rutu is a spring season. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dekhi Anandita Haila Gaura Bhagavan. Seeing the spring season, and that too, the full moon of the spring season, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very happy. So then automatically, as soon as they saw, immediately all the devotees remembered Vasanta Ras. Krishna has 2 kinds of Ras. One is during the Vasanta Rutu, other is known as Sharad Rutu. The Ras Leela which has been described in the Bhagavatam is known as Sharad Rutu. Sharadendu. There was a full moon day. Viksha Vanasas Chakri Rantum Yugamaya Upashataha. So that Rutu was Sharad Rutu. Now, this Rutu, where the present Prastila, which they are remembering, is actually the springtime. Now, as soon as they saw this remembered Rastila of Krishna, which has been described by Jayadeva Goswami in the Gita Govindam, Jayadeva Goswami describes this Nitya Ras. Nitya Ras is actually Krishna is having with his intimate associates. This Rastila Krishna, he performed on the banks of Radhakund, sometimes on the near the Govardhan hill. If you go to Govardhan, there is one Chandra Sarovar. That is where Krishna generally has his Vasant Ras, where Surdas Bhajan Kutir is there and Indra Nagara is there. Very beautiful pastime. And this Ras, Vasant Ras, Krishna has with intimate associates, the gopis. Whereas Maharas means all the gopis who have become qualified to become gopis, especially the Rishichari gopis, the gopis who are rishis in the Dandakaranya, who are the Shuticharis, who are the Vedas personified, glorifying Krishna, following the footsteps of Rajavadu. And they all take part in the Maharas, which happens in the Sharad Ritu. Now, Lalita Lavanga Lata Parishilana, that beautiful song sung by Jayadeva Goswami. All the devotees, they started singing Lalita Lavanga Lata. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced and just was wandering around them. As soon as he was doing, what happened? He was roaming around from all the trees. Ashokera Tale Krishna, Dekin Vachambite. All of a sudden he saw Krishna under the Ashoka tree. So when he saw Krishna, Krishna Deki Mahaprabhu Hana Chalila, Age Deki Hasi Krishna Antardana Haila. When he saw Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just he started running towards Krishna to embrace him. But Krishna just smiled and disappeared. Spurti Darshan. Sakshat Darshan, Spurti Darshan. Actually, Krishna is everywhere, but he appeared in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, just like he gave Spurti to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this made Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mad. Age Paila Krishna Tare Punaharana. So once he saw Krishna and he became maddened in such a way that he wanted to see Krishna again. He lost Krishna. And he's running here and there and he fell unconscious. Kumite Padila Prabhu Murchitahana. He fell down and then Murchita, he became unconscious in separation from Krishna. Krishna Rashyanga Gandha Bhariche Udyane Sri Gandha Pana Prabhu Vaila Chetan. When Krishna appeared from his body, beautiful, wonderful fragrance came out. Krishna Rasyange from his beautiful body. Gandha Hariyachi Udyanam, the whole Udyana, whole garden was filled with beautiful, wonderful fragrance. Srigandha Panaprabhu Harilachetan. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu drank this Gandha, when he smelled this beautiful fragrance, wonderful fragrance, he fell unconscious. Nirantara Nasaya Pashe Krishna Parimala Gandha Aswadite Prabhu Hoila Pagal. So this scent which is emanating from the body of Krishna is entered the nostrils of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the Lord became completely mad. Gandha Aswadite. After uh, after relishing this fragrance, he became mad, and he became more mad to relish it. What is Gandha? What is the fragrance coming from Krishna's body? It is actually the sweetness. Krishna Gandha Lubdharadha Sakira Ekaila. Shloka Padi Prabhu Artha Kaila. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remembered a verse from Bhagavatam, which is verse from Krishna, Govinda Lilamrita. And then he started singing that verse and explaining that verse. This verse was spoken by Srimati Radha. Krishna Gandalubdha Radha Sikhaya Kaila Sakira Kaila. She spoke this verse to the Sakis. Say Shloka Padi Prabhu Artha Kaila. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanted this verse and he started explaining this verse. Puranga Madaditvapu Parimulmi Krishnangana Kristangana Swakanganalina Takeshashi Yutab Jaganda Pratataha Madenduvara Chandanagaru Sugandhi Chararchita Same Madana Mohana Sakitaro Tanoti Nasa Spriham. So it's a very beautiful verse from the Govinda Lilamrita written by Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Very talking about the intimate pastimes of Radha and Krishna. So in this verse, the description of how the scent, the fragrance coming from Krishna's body, how it is a Kuranga Madajit. Kuranga Madajit. The musk deer, the fragrance coming from the musk deer, that becomes insignificant. The fragrance coming from Krishna's body conquers the musk, conquers the fragrance of the musk. That means the musk becomes insignificant in front of Krishna's aroma. And what happens? It attracts the mind of all women. Angana, Krishtangana, Angana means those who are the gopis of Vrindavan. They are attracted by Krishna's fragrance. And now Krishna has got 8 lotus parts, 2 eyes, 1 face. So that becomes 3. And 2 hands, you have lotus hands, and 2 feet, lotus feet. So that becomes 7, and lotus navel. So all 8 lotuses are there. That is why it is said that Madenduvara Chandanagaru Sugandhi Charchita Same Madana Mona Sakitano Nasa Spriham. So Krishna has got 8 lotuses. What happens? This disturbs, this distributes the fragrance to the entire Raja. And this fragrance is mixed by camphor. And because his body is already having some musk, some camphors, and sandalwood, and also agru. Agru means you have sambrani. And then the gopi says, my dear friend, this Krishna, Madana Mohana Sakittano Dinasa Spriham. And who is this Madana Mohana? This Krishna is the enchanter of Madana. What does he do? He increases the desire of my nostrils. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explaining this verse in simple Bengali language. Kasturika nilotpala tarayi parimala tarajini krishtanga gandha vyape choda bhuvane kare sarva akarshane nariganera anki kare andha. Nariganera anki kare andha. So what this fragrance does, it blinds the woman, eyes of the woman. The scent of the Krishna's body, Kasturini Lotpala Tarai Parimala, it surpasses the fragrance in the musk. And also the bluish flower, lotus flower. And this fragrance of Krishna's body, Vyape Chauda Bhuvane, it actually it spreads towards the 14 planetary systems. Kare Sarva Akarshan, it attracts everyone. Dari Ganera, Aki Kare, and so the woman, entire 14 worlds become completely blind by the fragrance coming from Krishna's body. Sakhi he Krishna Gandha Jagata Madaya Narira Sate Pashe Sarva Kala Taha Veshe Krishna Pashe Dharilana Yaya. So my dear friend, the scent which is coming from Krishna's body is actually enchanting the entire world. Narira nasate pashe. It enters the nostrils of the woman. And then what happens? It stays there. Sarvakala taham vashe. It stays there in the nostrils. Not that some fragrance comes and goes away. No, it captures. Krishna pashe dharilana ya. It captures them and then drags them and brings them towards Krishna. So that is the power of this Krishna's fragrance. Like the flute of Krishna, the sound of the flute of Krishna. It also entered the heart of the gopis and dragged them. The same way the fragrance also emitting from Krishna's body, it drags the gopis. Netra nabhi vadana kare yuga charan ye ashta padma Krishna ange karpura lipta kamala tara eche parimala sei gandha ashta padma sange. Now, netra, two eyes. Navi, that is navel. Face, these all lotus, two lotus eyes, two lotus are there. Navel, lotus navel. That is why we say Kamalalochan. And we have lotus face, Kamalalochan. And then hands, two hands are the two lotuses, 2 feet, two lotuses. So 8 lotus flowers are there in his body. So these 8 lotus flowers, Karpura Lipta Kamala, it is mixed with the Karpura, Kamala, and Tara Eche Parimala. So what happens? Not only these 8 lotuses are emanating fragrance, the other parts of the body of Krishna, they are unted with Chandan, Karpura, etc. So that fragrance is also mixed in that. So that becomes more enchanting. Hema Kilita Chandana Tahakare Gharshana Tahe Agaru Kunkuma Kasturi Karpura Sane Characha Ange Urvangera Gandha Sange Miditara Yena Kila Churi. So when Karpura is mixed with the agru, kumkum, and musk, and then camphor, and then spread on Krishna's body, it combines with what? Krishna's own fragrance. And actually, this fragrance of Krishna body is so wonderful that it actually covers all the other fragrance which are there by agru, camphor, chandan, etc. Hare nari rattanumana nasekare gurana khasya nivi chataya kesha banda kariya age Gauri Nacha e Jagat Nari Ena Dakaite Dakatiya Krishnanga Gandha. So the scent which is coming from Krishna's body, Hare Narida Tanumana, it actually enchants the body and the mind of all women. Nasakare Gurana. And what happens? It completely bewilders their nostrils. Kasya, Nivi, and what happens all of a sudden? They are enchanted. Nivi, their belts, which the lenga which they tie loosen, everything becomes loosened. The hairs becomes loosened. Uh, and then because of that, what happens? Hariya age bhori nachaye jagata nari he na dhakaye krishnanga gandha. It makes everybody mad, all the women mad. They become completely conquered by the influence of Krishna's fragrance. So now that is why the body of Krishna, the fragrance coming from the body of Krishna, is can be termed as a dacoit. Even the flute, the sound of Krishna's flute, that is also a dacoit. It went inside the heart of the gopis and stole their pride, which is not allowing them to meet them. They stole their lajja, that is shyness, and which was not allowing the gopis to meet Krishna. And it stole their viveka, that is discrimination, that was also not allowing to meet Krishna. And it also stole the fear, four things which are actually in the heart of the gopis, which was like a lid on the love which they had for Krishna. It was not allowing them to meet Krishna. So Krishna played the flute, and the sound of the flute became a dacoit, and he stole the precious, precious things like fear, lajja, and viveka, and pride, mada. So these four things which are there in the heart of the gopis were stolen by the flute of Krishna. So now here the fragrance of Krishna body, that is actually playing the role of a dacoit. See gandhavasi nasa, sadakare gandera asha, kabu paye kabu nahi paya. पाए पाइले पाए पेट भरे पीना पीना तब करे ना पाइले तृष्णाया मारे मारी आया. Now, say gandha asha, because being influenced by the wonderful fragrance which is coming from Krishna's body, what happens? They just fall down. And savakare gandera, once they take this fragrance, they breathe this fragrance, and now it so happens that they want more and more and more. And sometimes they obtain it, and sometimes they don't obtain it. Kabu nahi paye, kabu nahi paye. Paile piye pete bhare. Now when they get it, they fill their whole consciousness in the fragrance of Krishna's body. And in spite of filling their whole consciousness with Krishna's fragrance coming from Krishna's body, they say, no, I want more. Pina pina tabu kare, na paile trishna. They want more and more. And because of this hankering, they actually die. You go almost, it brings them to the verge of death. Madana Mohana Bhata Sari Gandhira Hata Jagan Nari Grahaka Lobhaya Vinamulye Deya Gandha Gandha Diya Kare Andha Ghare Yae Pata Nahi Paya. Now what has happened? What this Krishna, who is Madana Mohana, is a big dancer. Madana Mohana Nata is a big dramatic actor. What he has done, he has opened a shop. To attract, and the shop, a scent shop. That's whole body of Krishna is a shop of scent. And it attracts all the women. And they become the customers. Jagannari Grahake Lohai. They all become the Grahaka, they become the customers. And out of great greed, they all come because it's available free, they take it. Then what happens once they get it? They get it free. But this scent, Vinamulye Deye Gandha. Vinamulya means without any cost. He gives or take free. But this gandha, this fragrance, gandha diya kare andha. All the women become blind. When you become blind, you don't know where to go. So ghare aite pati nahi paye. So they don't know how to go, which direction to go to their house. They are completely blind now. So that is the condition of the gopis. Yei mata gaura hari gande kaila manachuri ringapaye praya iti uti dhaya. Yei mate gaura hari. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is manifesting the mood of Radharani. In this way, in the mood of Srimati Radharani, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his mind was stolen by the Krishna's scent, which is coming from Krishna's body. Gande kaila mana churi, bringapayo iti uti dhaya. He was running here and there like a bringer, like a bumblebee. He ran, Yaya Vriksha Lata Pase, Krishna's Pure Chayase. He ran to trees, sometimes the plants, sometimes the creepers, hoping, oh, I can see Krishna, I can see Krishna. Where am I going to see Krishna? Krishna nai paye, gande matra paye. In spite of he running here like a bumblebee, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could not see Krishna, but only his consciousness was intoxicated by the fragrance coming from Krishna's body. Now, somebody has to take care of Chaitanya. Who is going to take care? Swarup Damodar and Rai Raman. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his divine moods of ecstasy, the mood of Srimati Radharani, experiencing separation, the associates, Rai Raman and Swarup Damodar, they just cannot see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu suffering like this. Suffering is extreme separation from Krishna. Swarupa Ramananda Gaye, Prabhu Nache Sukapaye, Imata Prathakala Haila. And all of a sudden, Swarup Damodar and Rai Raman started singing. Swarup Damodar sings from Getu Govindam, and Rai Raman recite beautiful verses from Krishna Caritamrta. And in this way, the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced whole night. He danced, and morning arrived. Ye mata pratakale hai. Swarupa Ramananda Rai Karim Nana Upai. Swarup Damodar and Rai Raman, they did so many different plans. Nana Upai. Mahaprabhura Bhaye Spurti Kaila. They decided and devised many plans to bring back to external consciousness. Matra Bhakti. Now, in this chapter, 4 things are explained. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, Matra Bhakti Pralapana Vitti Mukha Krashana Krishna Gandha Spurite Divya Nitya E Chari Lila Veda Kaila E Parichede Krishna Dasa Rupa Goswami Britya. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, I am Rupa Goswami's servant. And in this chapter, I will explain 4 things. Number 1, I have explained about the Lord's pastime of devotion to his mother that you have studied in the beginning, and his words of madness, and his banging and rubbing his face against the wall, and ultimately his dancing, the appearance of Krishna, and experiencing the fragrance of Krishna. In this way, Yei Chari Lila Bheda, Gaila, Yei Paricheda. In this chapter, I spoke about these 4 pastimes. Yei Mata Mahaprabhu Prana Chetana Stanakari Kaila Jagannatha Darshane. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came back to his external consciousness, and then he went to see Lord Jagannath. Aloki Krishna Lila Divya Shakti Tar Tarkika Gochara Nahi Charitra Yaha. So these pastimes of Krishna, they are not understood by ordinary people. Especially Tarkika Gochara Nahi Charitra Yaha. Pastimes of Krishna cannot be understood by those who are Tarkikas, those who are too much into logic and in trying to understand things by their own little brain. E prema sada jaga yahara antare andidera tara cheshta bujit napare. It's only understood by whom? Ye prema sada jaya yahara antare. And people have awakened, those who have awakened love for Krishna in their heart, only they can understand. Panditera tara cheshta bujit napare. Those who are panditas, by their own cheshta, by their own intelligence, by their own panditya, they cannot understand the activities of Krishna. So there is a quotation from Bhakti Rasamrita which says, Dhanyasyanam nava prema yasyonmilati chetasi antarvanibir apyasya mudra shushtu sudurgama. The activities, especially dhanyasya ayam navaprema yasya unmilati, in whose heart, fortunate person, dhanyasya ayam, this prema, this kind of beautiful love of God, whoever has experienced, only they can understand. But others, antarvani vir apyasya mudra shushtu sudurgama. Sudurgama, it is very difficult for those who are who don't have any love of God in their heart. Even the greatest of the scholars, it is difficult for them to understand these pastimes. Alaukika prabhura cheshta, pralapa suniya, tarka nahi kariya suno vishwasa kariya. So now these Chaitanya Mahaprabhus, these pastimes, they are alaukika, they are transcendental, they are uncommon. And especially he behaving like a madman. We've been hearing how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is totally mad in the mood of Srimati Radharani. Therefore, one should actually hear them constantly. And don't try to put some an argument in how to understand, how is it possible, how can Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is God, he can cry. Don't ask all these questions, just hear. You should just simply hear it. Tarakana karila suno vishwasa kariya. Just with great faith, you just go on hearing it. Just by constantly hearing these pastimes, one can understand. Now, ihara satyatve pramana Shri Bhagavate Shri Radhara Prema Pralapa Bhamara Gite. Now, Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami gives two examples. He gives examples of the gopis, especially Srimati Radharani, how she becomes, she speaks all kinds of crazy things in one sense, in separation from Krishna. And other example he gives are that of the queens of Dwaraka, which is found in the last chapter of the Bhagavatam. In the 47th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is known as Brahmara Gita, beautiful verses are there. Especially in the Brahmara Gita, you'll find 10 verses in the Brahmara Gita. They are all quoted by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in his commentary to Caitanya Caritamrta. These 10 verses of the Brahmara Gita, it talks about transcendental madness of Srimati Radharani in separation from Krishna. So Bumblebee, when Uddhava was sent, and he's seeing this scene, and Srimati Radharani, of course, in the Bhagavatam it is described one gopi. But who is that one gopi? One gopi is none other than Divyon Madini, that is Mahabhava Prakashini Srimati Radharani, Shubhananandani Srimati Radharani. She speaks these 10 verses. These 10 verses are actually quoted in the purport. And these 10 verses are having such deep and exalted meaning that it requires a lot of Krishna prema, a lot of prema in the heart to really relation, understand these verses which are mentioned here. And these verses actually talks about jalpa, 10 kinds of jalpa. We only heard about one kind of jalpa, that is prajalpa. But when Radharani does prajalpa, it is totally different. Radharani's prajalpa is on a totally in a transcendental platform. It is not just on the platform of mundane consciousness, because now here Sukadeva Goswami describes that Kachin Madhukaram Drishtva, Kachin Madhukaram Drishtva. See, she's a bumblebee. Madhukara means a bumblebee. And Dhyayanti Krishna Sangamam. And she's thinking, of course, this is from the 10th canto, 11th verse. Now you have this from the 12th verse onwards you have. I'm just chanting the 12th verse here. So 11th verse here. So you don't have to go into that particular thing. You can go also if you want. So 47th chapter, 11th verse. Priyaha prastapitam jutam. Then she started thinking that maybe she imagined this bumblebee as what? the Yuta as a messenger sent by Krishna. Now she becomes very angry, thinking that Krishna, you have sent this Duta, this bumblebee as a messenger. She's imagining that the bumblebee is the messenger, and she's conversing with the bumblebee. She starts speaking in this way. So 10 verses are there, from 12 to 21. These 12 verses are known as Amara Gita, which are very famous in the Bhagavatam. In the Bhagavatam, like everybody's body, we have 5 airs, prana, pana, samana, vayana, udana, like that. We in the Bhagavatam, because it's 5 airs we are living. What are the 5 airs of Bhagavatam? These are 5 Gitas, which is first one. You have the Venu Gita, and then you have Gopi Gita, and then Pranaya Gita, and then the Gopi Gita, Yugala Gita, and then you have this another Brahmara Gita. And among all the 5, the topmost is the Brahmara Gita. And that is what is being referred by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in these particular words. Because in transcendental madness, Divyonmada, Radharani is speaking. Actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is manifesting the mood of Radharani in this particular Brahmara Gita. So that is how it is Vasantarasa. Now, the 12th verse. I'm not going to do all the verses. It's very difficult to do all the verses. It takes almost a few days to take all the verses. I'll just take 1 or 2 verses and try to see what best we can do to fit. Madhupakavikkativa bando maspishangrim sapatnya pucha vilulita mala kunkumaspar visnaha vahadu madhupatistam maninam prasadam yedu sadasi vidambyam yasya dutastamidrika yasya dutastamidrika. So you are duta. I understand. Madhupa Katiba Bandho. She starts scolding Krishna. Seeing the bumblebee, she says, you are like Kaitava Bandho. You are Kaitava. Kaitava means cheater. Krishna is a cheater. Now you are the friend of Krishna. You are Bandhu of this cheater. So what is happening is this bumblebee was going around here and there, flying, and it was keep coming and trying to touch the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. She starts her prajalpa, transcendental prajalpa. So you have prajalpa, pratijalpa, and vijalpa, parijalpa, like that. You have 10 kinds of jalpas. The first is prajalpa. So what constitutes prajalpa? We'll talk later. Let us see how Radharani is doing prajalpa with the bumblebee. She is just totally in mad consciousness. He says, "Oh, I know that you are the friend of this cheater. Krishna is a cheater." Then the bumblebee told, "No, how can you say Krishna is a cheater? I know him very well." Radharani says to the bumblebee, "You don't know. Who knows better about Krishna than me? Do you know who I am? I have given up my life to Krishna. Who can understand me about Krishna more than you, or more than me? I know he is a perfect cheater. You all have been cheated by him, and you have become the friend of a cheater because he told, oh Radhe, I love you. I cannot live without you. And mat architotta. And for my sake, you have given up everyone and you have come to me. And oh, please forgive me. I have done great injustice to you. All these words he has spoken. And we are simple ladies and we became completely captivated. And you know what he had told? Na paraye ham. Oh, Srimati Radha, all the gopis, I cannot repay the debts. Rina, what kind of Rina? I cannot repay in my life because you have given up everything and surrendered to me. And I am such a person, I cannot give up anything. So all these sweet words he has spoken. And when he was leaving from Mathura, at the time he told, I'm going to come back, don't worry, I'm just coming back. Still he has not come. So what do you think? A person who goes on talking lies so much, is he not a cheater? He's a cheater. So you are a Kaitava Bandhu, you are a friend of a cheater. So don't touch my feet. I don't contaminate me now. You get lost from here. So now again the bee is going on like this, and the bee is saying, Radharani is thinking, the bee is saying like this. What is she thinking? Oh, what is this you're telling? At least let me offer my obeisances. And Radharani says, no, I don't want to be touched by you because you're a contaminated person. Hmm? Bandho na sprishangrim savatnya na sprishangrim. Don't touch my feet. Why? Why? You're a drunkard person. You're a drunkard. I know Krishna is a drunkard and you're also a drunkard. Puchavi lulitamala kunkuma sparsho pirnaha. So I'll tell you why you are a drunkard person. Because you are a Madhupa. Madhupa means what? Madhu has two meanings. One is the makaranda, which is there in the honey in the flowers. Another meaning is Madhu also refers to intoxication. And you are drunk. Huh? You just don't touch me. You're a drunkard. How can I ask? How can a drunkard come and touch my feet? You are a drunkard, Madhupa. So then, how are you saying that I'm a drunkard? I'm not drunkard. I'm not a drunkard. Then Radharani says, you see, just see your two uh, you got mixed like mustache of yours. It is yellowish and it is reddish in color. You know, when Krishna has embraced uh, the the woman of Mathura, and he's wearing a garland, and in the breast of the women in Mathura, they were putting haldi and kumkum, and that got mixed with the flowers of Krishna, flower garlands of Krishna. And you, bumblebee, went around, and then you just did not even think of washing your mustache and come here. You're so intoxicated. And now I understand that you are drunk, and because your mustache are reddish in color and yellowish in color. Now, uh, this imagining this, Srimati Radharani is becoming so jealous because now she knows that Krishna must be enjoying with some from Mathura, in the woman of Mathura. So now you are Madhupa. Just get out. Go back to your master. And I'm telling you, even Krishna, he doesn't even know whom to send as a messenger. He sent you drunkard as a messenger. He also has no intelligence. Even if he really wants to pacify us, send a proper person. Why you? In this way, while again this bumblebee is going on, or you are talking like this, you are finding so many faults in me. You should you at least listen to me. That is what bumblebee is telling, and that is what is being imagined by Srimati Radharani. And actually, Krishna loves you so much. That is why he sent a messenger. Then Radharani says, I know him. Oh, my dear bumblebee, don't be cheated by his words. I know him very well, that he's a big cheater. He says that now he has become Madhupati. This verse talks about, if you see the third line, if you see, Vahatu Madhupatistam Maninam Prasadam. Now he has become Madhupati, the Lord of the Madhu. Actually, you see what he has done. He is supposed to be Pati of all the Rajavasis. Yashoda gave birth to him. And now he is born as a cowherd boy. Now he has become a Kshatriya, has become a big person. He has become the Pati of Mathura. I know that Krishna is enjoying with all the women of Mathura. And he's not remembering us. Why he should remember us? Because the women of Mathura, when Krishna enjoys with them, with the one woman, another woman becomes jealous, and he goes to satisfy that one, and he goes to satisfy another one. In this way, there are unlimited women in Mathura, and he goes on satisfying these women in Mathura. And how is he going to remember us? And she says, Maninam. There are so many women in Mathura, and he's just enjoying with them. So, oh, Bumblebee, don't try to fool me. I know him very well. Oh, no, 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 no. Actually, Bumblebee would say, that is what she's thinking. No, no, no. Krishna is actually 24 hours thinking about you only. I know him. And if he's not thinking about you, why he should send a messenger? He has sent me as a messenger. So he must be thinking about you. Uh, and that is what Bumblebee would reply. And this is what Radharani is thinking. So this is what Prajalpa going on in her mind. And she says, Radharani says, Dutastvam, Dutastvam. I know Krishna has sent this Duta not to pacify us. Actually, Vidambyam, she uses this word Vidambyam, Yadu Sadasi Vidambyam. Now he actually sent you to tell us that I have enjoyed with the woman of Putra. He actually wants to give suffering to us. So he is now telling all of us, now I got Kshatriya woman, more beautiful than all of you. So now you get lost from here. I don't have to care for you. That is what he has sent for. He has not sent you for us. He has sent you to give us more trouble. This way, she talks about all kinds of words in her Divyonmada, in transcendental madness. She expresses her Irshya, her Rasuya, and expresses her pride. Mother, don't touch my lotus. It's expressing her pride. And she also expresses her disrespect. He says, Avadiranam, that I know Krishna very well. He is just another debauchee. I know him very well. Yadu sadasividam yam. So she uses all kinds of different words which actually manifest the nature of Prajalpa. The nature of Prajalpa. Prajalpa is done out of Asuya, out of Irsha, out of Mada. Out of Mada means pride, and out of disrespect, out of using harsh words. These are the things which actually makes a person do Prajalpa. And Radharani is actually extreme Prajalpa. So now, after this, next Radharani in her next verse, she actually talks about Parijalpa. Prajalpa is over, now Parijalpa starts. Now, 13th verse is about Parijalpa. So like that, there are 10 jalpas, 10 verses. Sakradadara sudam swam mohinim payitva Sumanasaiva sadhyas tyajyate sman bhavadrika Paricharati kadam tatpada padmam nuvatma Nayyapi vatah pritacheta jiuttama shloka jalpaihi Sakradadara sudham. Now the bumblebee said, "Oh, Radha, why are you thinking like that? You don't know that my mustache, these two mustaches, by nature, this is red and yellowish in color. It is mixed like that. You cannot remove it. It's not because of some kumkum. It is not kumkum from Krishna's garland, which is embraced when Krishna embraces a woman in Mathura. It is not from her breast that this kumkum and haldi is coming. It is by nature. Actually, why are you criticizing Krishna like that? It is not good for you to do that. And actually, I promise you that Krishna is only thinking about you. And even though he looks at all these women in Mathura, and he's just there for the sake of being there, that's all. He's 24 hours dreaming about you. Hmm. So now, Sakradadara Sudam Swam Mohinim Payetva. Then Radharani replies, oh, Sakrad. Now, if you really think that Krishna is so much in love for us, why should he Sakrad Adara Sudam his Sudam, Adara Sudam, the nectar from his lips, he gave it to us once. Once he gave us. That means Krishna kissed us once. And he just left and went. He just left and went. Actually, Krishna have kissed the gopis so many times, even Radharani so many times. But in a transcendental badness, he says, only once only he has kissed us. And he has given Adara Sudam, the nectar from his lips, only I could taste once. Now, why Krishna has to do that? If he really loves us, he should be here and again give us his Adara Sudam. Actually, I know Krishna very well. This Krishna, he wants to see us suffer. That is why he has given the Adara Sudha, nectar, so that we should not even die. If we die, our suffering is all once and for all over. Now, if Krishna, if he kissed once, what is his intention? You know, once he gives his Adara Sudha to us, we will not die. And we'll suffer in separation from him. And Krishna loves to see us suffer. So he kissed us not to give us pleasure, not to take pleasure, but actually to give us suffering and prevent us from dying, so that if we die, all suffering is gone. So in this way, Parijal Pashi is doing. Actually, Krishna has abandoned us totally. Now he is thinking that if we are not there, then he's thinking, how can I get pleasure? Because he's always thinking that when we suffer, he becomes happy. I think this is nature of Krishna. I know very well Krishna. Oh, Bumblebee, I know him very well. He likes to see people suffering. When we suffer in separation from him, he likes. Then the Bumblebee became very grave and told, if that is the case, if you know about Krishna, he's so cruel, why are you thinking about him? Then Radharani says, beautiful word she uses, Sakradara Sudham, Mohinim Paitva. Mohinim, this is what the nectar from his lotus lips it does to us. It makes us completely Mohini. We lose our intelligence. That is why we are after Krishna. Do you think any intelligent girl will be after him? After knowing about him? But somehow our intelligence is totally corrupted, destroyed. And this is another effect of the lotus lips of Krishna, the Adara Sudha. It actually makes our intelligence completely destroyed. He doesn't understand. Actually, it is Krishna's Swarupa. It is his Adara Sudha. It is his fragrance. It is his sweetness, which nourished the love in our heart, nourished the tree of our love for him. And now what he has done, he has cut the same tree. Actually, it is described in the scriptures that one should not cut the trees which you have planted. And Krishna planted the desire for him in our heart. And now he is cutting the same desire. And that just cannot go. Now, that they start telling, Acha, Krishna has left you. Now tell me who is at fault. If Krishna has left, either Krishna should be at fault or you should be at fault. Then Radharani says, oh, Bumblebee. Sumana saiva sadhyas tyajyade sman bhavadrika. Sumana saiva. I know. You both are friends now. Both have the same. What do? You go and then just go and sit on the flower and it takes a little bit nectar and then go to another flower. This is what Krishna does. He comes to one gopi, takes the nectar from her lips, and he goes to another. And she is suffering. She is now intoxicated. What she can do now? And that is what is the condition. Now tell me, who is at fault? You are at fault. Your friend is at fault. And we are so simple. How are we? And what is our nature? Our nature is that of a beautiful flower. Sumanasa. Manasa means Sumanasa means Sumana means flowers. Pare charati katam tattadavattam navatma. Now, after giving her one flower, goes to another flower. So this shows that Krishna is fickle-minded like you. He has abandoned millions of gopis. after taking the intoxicant from them and intoxicating them. Now, don't you think we should not become angry on him? What does the bee do? Same thing. Like you do, Krishna also does. That is why he chose you. And Bumblebee told, no, I know very well Krishna is, God. You don't know. All the great people, scriptures are telling he is God. Gargamuni told he is Narayana. Radharani says, no, that's all scriptures people tell. What do they know about God? The scriptures only describe God. And great sages say, oh, God is that, God is. You tell Krishna, who knows Krishna? Do you think the sages know Krishna? Do you think the scriptures know Krishna? We know Krishna very well because we've experienced him. There can be no better pramana than experience. That is why Haricharitikatam Dattadabadmam Nubatmahi Apipatahrit Cheta hi Uttama Shloka Jalpaihi. She's Uttama Shloka Jalpaihi. Now I don't know why is it that this Krishna is being served by Srimati, by Padma. Tatpada Padmam Nubadma. Why this Lakshmi is serving her? Because she is very simple. We have understood him. Lakshmi, what she understands, she cannot understand. She's a very simple lady and she's thinking, oh, Narayana is God, going on pressing the lotus feet. What does she know about her Hare Krishna's real nature? She doesn't know. Bhavadrika. So Krishna is like you, unsteady. And Lakshmi being completely illusioned by Krishna's beauty, and she is simple lady. She's just serving him. But I am clever. I know Krishna. What Lakshmi knows about her, about him. So in this way, she's actually speaking this word in Divyoonmaga, transcendental madness, and Parijalpa, Parijalpa, where you talk words which are like Krishna is deceptive, he's a cheater, and then you talk words like Krishna is merciless, and you talk words like Krishna is unsteady. And anyhow, people who are after him, they are foolish people. I'm very clever. And in this way, to talk some words like this, which are out of Divyonmaga, these are known as Parijalpa. So this beautiful 10 verses are remembered by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur when Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying, Ihara Satyatve Pramana Shri Bhagavate. Ihara Satyatve, the truth about the transcendental feelings experienced by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and words he's speaking, and the pramana for it is in the Bhagavatam, where Sri Radhara Prema, Pralapa, Brahmara Gita. Two examples he gives, one from the Brahmara Gita, and other is from Srimad Bhagavatam, 90th chapter, 10th canto, 15 to 24 verses. Another 10 verses are there. One spoken by the queens of Mahishi, Gita, Dashamera Shesha, Panditena Bhuje Tara, Artha Vishesha. Even great Panditas, they cannot understand Artha Vishesha. What to speak of ardent people like us. So we stop here. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much for a very, very interesting class. And, I just wanted to confirm once more. And Vasantas, or Mahadas, and Vasantas. So Mahadas is Sharad Purnima Rasina, and Vasantaras is only.
Yeah, Vasantaras is only for the Nitya Siddha Gopis. And Sharad Das is like Sharad Purnima is Maharas. It is for everyone. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doing Nagar Sankirtan with Chand Kaji, that Nagar Sankirtan, that is Maharas. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Srivas Thakur's Angan with intimate associate, that is the Vasantaras.
Thank you, Prabhu. Very interesting. And thank you also for covering those 2 verses of Brahmaratit. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such a wonderful, wonderful class. So do you have some time for the questions, Prabhuji, from the devotees?
Yeah, no problem. If you have some questions, I don't think there'll be any questions. Yeah, there are some questions. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. I request devotees, if anybody have any questions or realizations to Prabhuji, you can please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. Such a wonderful class, Prabhuji. I just had one question. You were talking of the different types of prajalpa, jalpa, and I always thought that prajalpa was in a negative connotation, but you explained also that Srimati Radharani indulges in prajalpa when she goes into the ecstatic mood. So is it right that, I mean, is it also a positive term or is it negative, or how do we understand it, Prabhuji?
Any term connected to Krishna and Radharani, that is positive. Any term connected to conditioned souls is negative. Any term.
Okay, Prabhuji. So if we discuss something, it may be in a negative connotation. That's what you're
Anything
trying
we discuss is negative. Because we're conditioned souls. What the conditioned souls, even a so-called good done by the conditioned souls is also negative. And Krishna, Radharani, and there, anything connected to them is positive. That is why Maya is defined. How is Maya defined? Maya is Tetharthamit Pratiyetna Pratiyechatmani Tam Vidyadatmano Mayam Tha Vasutatmaha. Anything in connection with Krishna, that is not Maya. Anything which is not in connection with Krishna, that is Maya.
Sure. Thank you so much, Prabhu. And I also really liked, you discussed a lot of rasa tattva today in class, and it was very nice to hear from you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada ki jai. We'll stop here.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your very valuable time and association. Let's pay our obeisances to Prabhuji. Vancha kalpatarupyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Sri Chaitanya Caritamrta ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Grace Kamalochan Prabhuji ki jai. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण जी
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
कोटि कोटि दंडवत प्रणाम।